Hi everyone, let's go through my main bullish and bearish scenarios on the macro, high time frame, medium time frame and the low time frame, including potential trading setups. Starting with the macro time frame and then the bullish scenario. I'm looking for a 1, 2, then a 3, 4 and then a 5 to the upside, currently working on wave 5. Now, as you can see, wave 2 over here bounced perfectly at the golden pocket area, 618 and 66. People call this the COVID dump. I call it wave 2. And then we have a wave 3 to the upside, very nice and bullish over here with a yellow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very clearly, and then a green 5-wave move inside this wave 3, followed then by a move to the downside, which is wave 4. And as you can see, wave 4 on the weekly time frame bounced perfectly on this 0.5 fib taken from the low of 2 to the high of 3. Now, something else is that we made the low exactly on the 0.618 fib time, the red vertical line over here, pulled from the 2 to the 3. So that is actually very nice confluence. And something to note is that we had a high volume peak at these lows. And high volume is not only a sign for a wave 3, it's also a sign for potential reversal areas. That is something to take into account. Now, if we then look at the potential trading setups and the targets for a wave 5, you can see that I have a big target area over here with then a yellow box, which is my less preferred, let's say, alternative target area. And then the white box is my preferred target area. Now, the trade would be to enter long positions, maybe wait for a retracement or already enter here, but the stop loss would be below the wave 4 as that is the invalidation, and then trade it to the upside with the wave 5 targets ranging between basically the all-time high and all the way to 174,000 euros for one Bitcoin. Holy moly. So what are these targets, right? So the 1-to-1 and this 1.618 over here are pulled from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to then the low of 4 with the trend-based fib extension. So this is one way to calculate a target for wave 5, the 1-to-1 being the most common compared to the 1.618 with this specific pool, that is. If we then look at these fibs over here, the 1.236 and the 1.618, this is the most common target area for wave 5, pulled from the high of 3 to the low of 4. And you can see that the more rare target with the pool that I just mentioned actually has great confluence with a more common target for wave 5 being the green 1.618. So this is actually quite a nice area. And also the 1.236 has confluence with the 0.618, the white one over there, pulled from the low of 1 to the high of 3 to then the low of 4. And everything you see, by the way, is on log scale. So the chart is on log scale as well as all the fibs are on log scale. And if you don't know how that works and you want to copy these targets for your chart, make sure to check this box over here for every fib levels based on log scale. So this is the bullish scenario on the macro time frame. Then we go to the bearish scenario on the micro time frame, where I'm looking for basically another move to the downside, with this then being wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The high of 5 being the all-time high at the moment at about 69k. And then the move to the downside over here is a 3-wave structure in the W, followed by a 3-wave in the X. And an important area in general for Bitcoin is the area that we are approaching right now, which is between 29k and 32k. So over here you can see a weekly time frame order block, but it's also a very important support resistance area. So this area and the retracement that might follow is going to decide if this is a wave 1, 2, 3, or maybe a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and we push through, or if this is going to be the beginning of a move to the downside in this bearish scenario, where we're still looking then for a wave Y, which is going to be a 3-wave structure on the macro time frame. And I'll be looking for prices around, let's say, like 10k. This would be a nice area. Also confluence backtesting this area over here, which we've not done after the bull run in 2020. You also see two fib times on the chart. These are pulled from the low of wave 1 to the high of wave 5. And then the correction, a common target for correction, is then the 0.618 as well as the 1-to-1. The 0.618 being the 28th of August, or the week of the 28th of August, and the 1-to-1 is the 7th of October 2024. If we then go to my bullish scenario on the high time frame, I am looking for the following. The move to the downside from the all-time high is a WXYXZ with then X just coming shy of its basically minimum target of the 382 and wave Z reaching its rare target of the 0.618, which of course is still valid. However, the most common targets are actually down here, but this is fine for a wave Z. It is a rare target and the target has been reached. And then what we're looking for over here is the impulsive structure to the upside, where this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then yellow wave 1, follow up wave 2, and then we have 3, 4, 5 to the upside, or this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is wave 2, very short, which you'll see in the medium time frame count, and then this is the beginning of a wave 3 with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a lot more upside. That would be even more bullish. However, the scenario that I have on my chart right now, and the fact we didn't yet backtest this very important area for many reasons, as mentioned, it's not only a support resistance area and a weekly order block, it is also part, or almost basically, part of this big range, the volume profile range, and then the value area low sitting at 28.8K. So the value area low is just shy of the level of this white box. As mentioned, the white box between 29.2K and 32.4K is a very important area. So there's quite some resistance coming up that we haven't yet tested. So preferably, I would like, for example, a wave 1 to end in this area for then a wave 2 to the downside. And trading wise, this is then the potential trading setup where entering from the high time frame range value area low, stop loss somewhere here. It's not, of course, yet clear how high or how impulsive price might go into this area. So better be safe than sorry. And then trading it to the downside for a wave 2. Now, the most common targets for a wave 2 are the 0.5 all the way to the 0.786, with the 382 and the 886 being rare targets. And then after the wave 2, a bullish trade over here, a long setup, would be to enter in the more common target area of a wave 2, and then eventually stop loss below the lows over here of Z, because that is the invalidation. And then you have a potential massive swing trade all the way to 100K moon. The moon is the target. So the bearish scenario, because let's not walk ahead of ourselves. There's still a very important bearish scenario as well, which then is that from the all-time high we have a W over here followed by an X wave in red, and then we expect wave Y to the downside. Now in this wave X, the red box now is the same as the white box shown earlier, with the weekly order block, value area low, and the support resistance area that we have yet to reach because we didn't reach these highs yet. And in the X, looking for an ABC expanding flat, which is a 3-wave, and then a 5-wave move to the upside, with then a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 bouncing perfectly on the 0.5 Fibonacci, taken from the low of 2 to the high of 3, which gave us the trading setup over here. Stop loss at the invalidation, which is the price action of wave 1, as a wave 4 is not allowed to enter the price action of wave 1, following the official rules of Elliott Waves. And then trading it to the upside, where the most common wave C target is the white box that you see on the chart right now. As you can see as well, we hit this most common wave C target. We hit it 2 days ago, we hit it today as well, because the 1.618 over here is the minimum target at basically 27.7K, with the maximum target of the most common wave C being 34K. Now, is this it? Is this then the high, and are we going to the downside in this scenario? Well, I'm not so sure, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I think it's important to mention these fibs here on the right side. If this is wave 3 and this is wave 4, the most common target for wave 5 is in between these two fib levels. The 1.236 sitting at 26.8K and the 1.618 sitting at 29.6K. And another very important level at 29.6K is the 0.382. And the 0.382 is a target for this red wave X, because these fibs on the left are pulled from the all-time high to the low of W. And wave X, usually the minimum target, is the 0.382. So the 0.382 and the 1.618 are basically at the same level. We also have the high time frame range value area low over here at kind of the same price, like it's the same region, right? We have this support resistance area as well in this area. So it's going to be a very interesting area and very attractive area to then maybe build a potential short setup, because educational, you know how it goes. Short setup over here with then the stop loss somewhere above, maybe even be above the most common wave C target area. Just keep in mind that this is also still a rare wave C target area. However, if this is going to be wave 5 and wave 5 would stretch all the way up here, wave 5 would be or would have to extend. However, wave 3 is already extended. So the chance of wave 5 extending over here is very, very, very low. So this is definitely an area I would look for between basically, well, let's say the high time frame range 28.8k and 30k is just a very important area, as well as 28 to basically 32k as mentioned in my other scenarios. Trading it to the downside for wave Y, with then a potential first target being about 12.8k, and as mentioned, nice confluence over here with these highs that we haven't backtested since the bull run in 2020. Then we go to the medium time frame counts. And the medium time frame counts are actually very interesting as well. So if we then zoom in just a little bit so you can actually see what is happening, then this is what I'm looking for. This is the bullish scenario on the medium time frame, where this is the high of wave 5. So the wave 5 from the lows that we had at like 15.4k, then we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this is then the high of then a potential wave 1 is over there, potential wave 1. Then this is the wave 2. And then what we're looking at right now is a wave 1 in green, a 2 in green, and then a 3, 4, 5. So then this would be wave 1. Oops, I'm messing up here with the chart. This would be then a wave 1 in a bigger wave 3. So this is a very bullish scenario where wave 1 and 2 are already set, and then we are now working on our wave 3 to the upside. Now if you then look at the high of wave 1, the fibs that you see over here, and I'll go in more detail in the more low time frame counts, would be a potential target of wave 5. And as you can see, we have hit it. I gotta say, the lower you go in the time frames, the more unpredictable Elliott waves become. I would personally still very much like touching this area over here before a move to the downside, but just keep in mind that this is a potential wave 5 target, and a potential trading setup is then also to enter shorts in this area. With then the stop loss, yeah, you know, this is definitely a risky trade because it doesn't like we're ranging. It doesn't look like it's falling too quick, but nonetheless, following Elliott Wave and educational, of course, Elliott Wave wise, if this is the high of a wave 5, we're looking for a wave 2 to the downside. The 618 is the most common target, and then stop loss somewhere above, entering shorts in this area, and then eventually longing again from the low of wave 2. Stop loss below the low over here, as that is the very clear invalidation, and then trading it all the way to the upside for a very, very big move. Then we have the bearish scenario, where in the bearish scenario, we again have then wave X over here, wave C, and then wave 5 in the ABC expanding flat, where currently then this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 hitting the 382 very nicely indeed, and then eventually we now have or are working on our wave 5, where preferably this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would like to touch this area. It's just so attractive. Would like to touch this area. However, Elliott Wave wise, of course, this is a potential wave 5 target area with the 0.618 here as well. So entering shorts over here is a possibility. Stop loss somewhere safe. Make sure, better be safe than sorry. And then trading it all the way to the downside for a potential wave Y. Now, if we then go to the lower time frames, then this is the bullish scenario on the lower time frame, and we're going to look at the basically the last impulse that we had from the lows over here at 24k basically. So then we have the green and we have the blue count, as you can see. So currently the green count then being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this scenario, we do expect another move to the upside to at least reach these levels over here of the high time frame range value area low and this wide support resistance area and all the other confluences mentioned earlier. So interestingly then, the blue count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the most common target for a wave 4 is the 0.382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. Officially, no candles allowed to close below the 0.5, so that is what we're looking for. I put the invalidation always a little bit lower, below the 0.5. Then a potential trading setup, I mean, he could have entered here already. Potential trading setup here in the long is entering in this target box and then longing it to the upside. Again, educational guys, no financial advice. You know how it goes on YouTube. So then in this wave 4, we're ranging in like a channel structure. and then we expect wave 5 to finish over here, and then a move to the downside is expected, which then is going to correct this structure over here. So then this could be the wave 1 as mentioned, then a 2, and then a 3, 4, 5 for a lot more upside to come. Then we have the low time frame bearish scenario, where in this scenario wave 5 is already in. So over here then, and this is my, I would say, alternative scenario, because this ranging is not looking too impulsive to the downside, unless this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, more about that on an even lower time frame, very low time frame count. But this then being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, high is made inside the target area of a wave 5, and we would now move to the downside. Definitely an alternative, but trading wise, again, shorts laddering over here, stop loss somewhere above. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what price is going to do, but this is not my preferred scenario, definitely not my preferred trade because of the area right above. Of course, what Bitcoin tends to do as well, important, is that in such scenarios with a very attractive resistance area above that maybe a lot of people are looking at, what the market makers tend to do is basically not touch this area, go to the downside, think, like, make everyone think, oh shit, we didn't hit it, we go to the downside, it's bearish, we didn't even hit the resistance, and blah blah blah. And then eventually during the next move they literally obliterate everyone trying to short in this area, and prices just woof, going all the way to the upside. Just please don't forget about that scenario as well, because in the end 90% of the traders tend to lose. Make sure you have your strategy, your entry requirements very solid, build your statistics, and then trade safely. So this is then the bearish scenario. And then we have the very, very low time frame, more bullish scenario. So we literally go to the 15-minute, 5-minute, maybe even. In this case, the 15-minute, where this is a wave 4. So let me actually put the other one, so it's combined. We have to look at the channel. No, it's too messy for me. So then that's the wrong one. Okay, there we go. So this is then a wave 4, right? Wave 4, and we expect wave 5 to the upside. So that is the bullish scenario. In this case, looking for a WX and then a YXZ. The reason why I like this, so like stretching it in time, and also the fib times that you see is from, again, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then basically the 1-to-1 is taken from the low of this 2 to the high of this 3. And wave 4 does have a relationship with the third impulse. So that's why I have fib times on my chart. But the main reason I like it is because we have a target box over here. Yes, we tested it once, but we didn't yet reach the common target for wave 4, the 0.382. We only hit the rare target, the 0.236. And another thing is that the low that we made at the moment is a low that is made during the weekend. And preferably, I like the markets throughout the week to take out the retail traders that are now entering in their longs over here, take out their stop losses, grab the liquidity, and then move upwards during the week. So that is why I would like an extension of this correction. Now currently WXYXZ is something you see. It can also be a WXY, then another move to the upside, and then another move to the downside to again stretch it in time. Could this be finished and this be a 1, 2, 3? I mean, guys, it's Bitcoin. Everything is possible, but that is currently not my preferred scenario. Also, just because of this wick and yeah, what I just mentioned. And if we quickly look at the volume still very, very low. As you can see, it's going down, down, down. Very typical for a wave 4 as well. That volume is literally dying, and it's weekend, and weekend tends to be rangy as well. So yeah. And then we have the final scenario, which then is a very low time frame bearish scenario, where the high is then already made, wave 5, and we're looking for downside. As you can see, I didn't do much analysis because the thing is, we're literally channeling, and it doesn't look like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like I don't know what it's going to be then, but eventually it needs to be very, very impulsive to the downside. Now, if we're going to get a massive impulse to the downside, then okay, this becomes interesting. We at least have a very clear invalidation, which is the high over here, for a potential impulsive move to the downside. But yeah, this is the low time frame bearish scenario, definitely an alternative where yeah, we would be correcting basically the impulse that we had over the past couple of days and weeks. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. I'd like to thank you for watching, guys, and all the support. Holy moly, we're growing so quick. Thank you for subscribing, and I will see you at my next video later today at 7 p.m. Central East European Time. Bye-bye.